Hello, chat. Welcome. Part 2. We're getting the Yuri Buchanek. Remember Sergeant Bukaki's the blistering cross on his ass. So here we go. Let's get back to it. Let's finish this strong. Let's listen to Trooper Bukaki just get savaged again and again and again by Alan Jackson as he just gets lit the fuck up. So here we go, chat. And we're going to slow it down just a little bit so we can really take it in. So here we go, chat. Here we go.
And then at some
Sergeant, does that refresh your recollections to about the time
we're gonna back up a little bit just so you guys can remember what happened?
You ended up at the office to lay out those items on the butcher paper?
That refreshes my memory to my testimony prior.
And that was about your prior testimony. It was about 10 p.m.
When asked about what time the items were laid out, I indicated previously it was 10 o'clock approximately.
You didn't stay there all night with those clothes?
No, I did not.
You left the clothes with Michael Proctor, did you not?
I can't testify to leaving them, quote unquote, with Michael Proctor. We laid them out together in the drying area on the butcher paper. And then at some point I secured from the office. I don't have a memory if he left with me or if he remained to do additional tasks in the office too.
You indicated that those clothes stayed in that room starting on January 29th, 2022, so that they could dry, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Ultimately,
guys, I try to turn off the ads. YouTube does that. I can't. Like, YouTube at some points pushes them in anyway. I'm sorry about that.
They were bagged after they were dried, correct?
At some point they were, yes.
Who had access to that room where they were laid out on butcher paper in those intervening, those subsequent days?
Anyone that had access to the office with a proper key card authorization would have access to that area.
Of course, that includes you as a supervisor, correct?
It does.
It also includes Michael Proctor.
It does.
And those items were bagged on February 4th. Is that right?
I don't have a specific memory, but if you can show me a document suggesting that and supporting that statement, I will definitely look at it.
Such a weasel.
Sergeant, while we're looking for this piece of paper, you remember looking at the bag that the clothing items were in at this point, just the jeans?
Earlier today, sir?
Yes.
I do remember looking at the bag, yes.
Okay, and the bag has a label on it, obviously, that's generated when items are bagged?
It has multiple labels, yes.
Okay. Did you see the label today that it indicated it was bagged on February 4th?
I didn't pay attention to it, no.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
If you could take a look at those 3 pages briefly, that's a colloquy that may refresh your recollection.
I don't know what the colloquy means. Can you?
Colloquy, back and forth conversation.
I see.
May I approach?
Yes.
Sir. Did reviewing that document refresh your recollection as to the date that those items were ultimately bagged and labeled?
Yes, based on the tag on the bag, when I previously looked at it, it appears that the tag was printed on 2/4/22.
And that would be consistent with the time that the items are actually placed in the bag,
I don't know that to be true.
because you didn't place them in the bag. Trooper Proctor did, correct? I'm sorry, former Trooper Proctor did.
I don't know who placed them in the bag.
But it wasn't you.
It was not me, no.
But the case officer, Mr. Proctor, had access to that room and was taking control over those clothing items for those 6 days that they were drying on the butcher paper, correct?
That's not necessarily correct. It could have been the evidence officers bagging the evidence once it's dried and processing it. I highly doubt Trooper Proctor had access to the beast machine to print that label.
Right. I'm not asking if he printed the label. I'm asking if he bagged the item and walked it up to the evidence locker and the label was printed up there.
Again, I don't know who bagged.
Just answer the question.
That would be normal protocol, though, correct?
Somebody else bagging the items?
No, the case officer bagging the items. He's the one that seized it along with you. He laid them out on the butcher paper along with you. He would be the one to gather them up. I mean, the evidence officer's not going to come down there and do that without the case officer knowing, correct?
Not necessarily. The evidence officer's responsibility is to handle the evidence. So I don't know who handled the evidence that day.
How would
Just
the evidence
say
officer
you-
know to
you
go down there?
pussy.
How would he know that there were clothing
You
items being
pussy.
laid out to dry on butcher paper unless the case officer told him?
They would walk by it every day and see it. That's their workstation. So
Right.
Yeah, but
they would know that, hey,
But they don't know what it is. They wouldn't know what to do until you told them what to do. They don't just randomly walk up and start bagging and tagging shit. You have to tell them what to do. That's not how it works, you fucking worm. You fucking worm.
this evidence is drying. There's only 4 detectives in the office at that time working on this case. We communicate daily. So they would know that, hey, it's dried. Let's bag it up.
Well, that's a lot of speculation.
How you doing, Bama Law?
Literally, you just said,
How you doing,
I have
man?
no idea who bagged it. They weren't communicating with you, were
I was giving you an explanation of what could have happened.
they? Right. Speculation about what could have happened, right?
Well, I certainly did not bag that item.
Right. But your best estimate would be, knowing the protocols at the MSP and in your unit, would be the case officer who's controlling the items of evidence would have bagged it and submitted it into the evidence locker.
I do not know who bagged it.
So for 6 days, anybody who had access to that room could have handled that clothing in any way they wanted to.
That's correct.
And that includes former Trooper Michael Proctor.
That's correct.
Do you have any kind of log to document what was happening or who was handling those items of clothing during that 6-day period before it was bagged into evidence? Any kind of a log?
I don't have a document logging the clothing laying out there. It was documented in reports and processing, I believe. But
Have you ever seen a log? I'm not talking about a report after the fact. I'm talking about a log, real-time log, indicating who may have come in and handled or touched or manipulated those clothes in that 6-day span of time before that.
I have never seen a log like that. No.
The fact is, we don't have a single document establishing the chain of custody for those items between January 29th and February 4th. That's correct, isn't it?
That is absolutely not correct.
Where's the chain? Where's the log or the document logging what happened to it?
We seized the clothing. It was in our possession. It was transferred for processing.
Sergeant, I'm asking you about a log, a written piece of paper, something that looks like this. It's got writing on it that logs the item between January 29th and February 4th. That doesn't exist, does it?
We did not create a log to document the documentation,
Thank
so
you.
it'd be redundant, really.
What, it's a chain
You
of custody
indicated on
log
direct
is
examination that you
redundant.
personally participated in 2
Really?
searches at
Wow.
34 Fairview, one on February 4th, one on February 10th. Is that right?
That is not right.
What did I get wrong?
I was also there on the 3rd, 4th, and 10th.
who did you go with on the 3rd?
That was Trooper DeChico, Michael Proctor, and I conducting the first excavation.
And about what time was that?
It was during the morning hours. I think earlier I said it was somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30. I could have been half an hour later. I'm not exactly positive on the exact time we began the excavation.
And the other 2 searches were the next day, February 4th, and then February 10th.
The next time I was at Fairview Road and involved in a collection of evidence was on the 4th, when Canton PD documented the one piece and I collected, and then the 10th.
Was anything recovered on February, let's take them in order, on February 3rd?
Yes, Mr. O'Keefe's hat, straw, I believe red and clear plastic taillight pieces. There was those are the items that were recovered amongst.
That's on the 3rd. Okay, what about the 4th?
The 4th was the red taillight piece that we displayed, I believe, that Canton PD notified me of when I was already en route there.
When you say Canton PD, who was it that notified you, if you remember?
There was, at the scene, there was Chief Berkowitz, a couple of detectives.
Sergeant Lank, does that sound right?
I do not know. I can't say yes or no. I don't recall specifically. It was raining hard, so I grabbed the item and left.
Okay. Did you write a report? I'm gonna combine these into all 3 dates together. Did you write any report? Actually, I won't do that. Let me ask them individually. Did you write any report about your search on the 3rd?
Somebody authored a report. I'm not sure.
I'm asking about you.
I can't. There's over 100 reports. I'd have to take a look. Which report documents my activity that day. Do
you remember, as you sit here, authoring a report about your conduct or your activity on February 4th, the next day?
I don't have a memory of it, no.
Do you have a memory of authoring a report yourself about your conduct on February 10th, your activity on February 10th?
I don't have a memory of it. It could have happened. I just don't have a memory.
The reality, Sergeant, is that no report was written about any of these searches until November 4th, 2023, correct?
That could be possible, yes.
So literally the documentation of these 3 searches about which you've testified today, the documentation did not exist until, what is that math, 17, 18 months later?
That is not true. Each bag that the evidence went into was documented, the time, location, who recovered it, where it was recovered, and brief description of the items that were recovered from the scene.
And by the way, we're going to get to that in a second, the evidence bags. A report is designed to memorialize exactly what happens, when it happens, why it happened, who was there, what time it happened, things of that nature, correct?
That is one of the purposes, or some of the purposes behind the report, absolutely, yes.
And the report in this case that documented these 3 searches involving you, Trooper Proctor, I think Trooper DeChico, even Canton PD officers, there was no memorialization in a report until nearly 18 months later. Is that right?
It's possible, yeah. We write reports at different times. Yeah.
I want to ask you about this February 4th visit to the crime scene. You indicated that sometime in the morning, 8:45, 9 a.m., something like that, you responded?
On the 4th, sir?
On the 4th.
I was driving to work, so I would have to say 8:45 or so. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the exact timestamp, but if you know, if you have something to refresh my memory, I could tell you if that's accurate.
I'm not going to hold you to the exact time. It was in the morning on the 4th.
It was.
All right. Did you know Chief of Police Ken Berkowitz before you responded on the 4th to 34 Fairview?
Yes, I knew who he was. I had met him previously, and he was present on the 29th when the vehicle was delivered to the Sally Port.
He was actually in the Sally Port, at least at some time, when the vehicle was delivered, correct?
He was there at some point. I had a conversation with him.
Okay. Tall guy, short guy?
Chief Berkowitz was a shorter guy.
Okay. Do you know who Brian Higgins is?
I do.
What's your relationship with Brian Higgins?
Uh,
Or what was it? I should be more pointed to this, Sergeant. What was your relationship back in 2022, January 2022?
Brian Higgins was a federal agent, and I crossed paths with him on a couple of investigations, strictly professional relationship, a federal agent and a state trooper.
So not a personal relationship, more of a professional relationship.
Correct.
Did you know him to have a personal relationship with Chief Berkowitz?
I did not know.
Didn't Brian Higgins actually tell you and Michael Proctor in an interview that he had a personal relationship with Chief Berkowitz? He called it one of his better friends.
Sustained.
Sure. During the course of your investigation, did you learn, although you may not have personal knowledge of it, did you learn that Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz had some sort of a personal relationship?
If you show me a report stating that, I would like to take a look. If it's written in a report authored by me or that I approved, I will take it for to be fact.
As you sit here now, you don't have a memory of that conversation with Brian Higgins?
Do I have a memory of having a conversation with him
No,
and him
I'm-
sharing that information with me?
That's it.
I don't have a memory of him sharing that information, but if you have a report that was authored by me or Michael Proctor or any trooper in our office that says that, I will take it as gospel and testify to it.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up the time to look for it. We'll put our hands on that. But in the meantime, let me ask you a few other questions. You were contacted and told to respond to 34 Fairview because Chief Berkowitz had been driving by and saw something while he was driving by, correct?
On which day, sir?
February 4th.
I'm sorry.
February 4th.
Yes, he indicated he was driving by and saw a piece of potential evidence.
And he was driving by in a car at speed, correct?
I would take that to be factual. I mean, if he's driving by, I would take it to be in a car
And
at speed.
did you question Chief Berkowitz about, by the way, about how old was Chief Berkowitz when you met him out at 34 Fairview in 2022?
How old?
How old? Estimate. Was he in his 50s, 60s, 70s?
I have no idea how old Chief Berkowitz was.
It's just
He indicated
absolutely
to
awful.
you that he was driving by and saw a small piece of red taillight from his car. Is that right? Okay.
Sustained.
He indicated to you that he was driving by and saw a red something from his car, correct?
Yes.
Sustained.
Did you question Chief Berkowitz after you learned this information about him driving by? Did you
Yes,
question
he
Chief
is
Berkowitz about
still
how
he is still on the Massachusetts State Police.
you could possibly see a piece of red plastic from his car?
No,
Did you question Chief Berkowitz about why he was driving by 34 Fairview in the first place?
no,
Did you question Chief Berkowitz about the fact that his department had been conflicted from the case, at least in part, because of a, as you put it, a perceived or possible perception of a conflict of interest?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question, please?
Did you question Chief Berkowitz about whether or not he was aware that there was a conflict of interest between Canton PD and this investigation?
No, I didn't question. No.
Did you think that was important at the time to talk to him about that conflict of interest?
No.
Because just days earlier, the Sergeant, the Canton Police Department had in fact recused itself from interviews because of potential conflict of interest, right?
To prevent any perceived conflict of interest, they recused themselves from being involved in interviews.
Right.
I wasn't pairing up with Chief Berkowitz to interview the taillight piece. I mean, I don't.
No, I didn't figure that you were going to interview the tail piece. We all get the comment. I'm trying to get to a point. 3 or 4 days after, 5 days after, 6 days after, Canton PD recuses itself from the investigation, parts of the investigation because of a perceived conflict of interest. The brother of the homeowner, being a detective, the chief of that department drives by in a car and supposedly sees a piece of plastic. Right?
I'm sorry?
I object.
Sustained.
Was your understanding, at least at the time, that the whole purpose of the recusal was so that there would not be a perception of a conflict of interest? To avoid that?
I didn't give it much thought of the understanding why there was a recusal. I was told that they're not going to conduct interviews with us, and me being on the mission of conducting this investigation, assisting with this investigation, collecting evidence, I just knew that I needed more manpower. And the Canton police, being, having recused themselves, weren't going to be available to provide that manpower to conduct interviews.
And yet it was the chief of that very department that was standing out in front of 34 Fairview when you pulled up that morning.
With his detectives, they were at the location. They weren't standing outside. They were in their vehicles because it was raining really heavily.
Well,
Can we end this?
we can, Your
All
Honor.
right.
Sure.
All right, so Sergeant, we'll be bringing you back tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Folks, that's it for today. Those same cautions, please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into the case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything else about the case, please disregard it and let us know. Be very careful with your social media use. And again, Sergeant.
All rise for the court, please. Hearing close your notebook. Follow me.
Can I see counsel about scheduling, please?
So here we go, chat. All done. So I think they have to, but he's not going to. Block of the week. Put it down, chat. Mark it down. They are not going to call Proctor. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to call Proctor. I'm thinking about it. He's trying to use Buchanan to get all this in. He say Buchanan was there hand in hand. The problem is, though, and Buchanan did this last trial too. He wasn't able to say, I did this, I did that, I did all the things. Or I helped Proctor do all the things. Now, apparently, there's going to be stuff that Proctor did do that he wasn't involved in. So I think Proctor has to come back. Do you think they're going to run into shit if the defense has to call Proctor and Bev won't declare him hostile? I don't think that's, I don't see how she could. I mean, she's a retard, but she's not that retarded. If they don't call Proctor, the defense is going to. And hopefully the defense has already got him under subpoena. I'm assuming they did. So if Proctor comes back, it's over for the Commonwealth. Oh, it's going to be very bad. So that's why I can't wait for it. I really want to see it happen, but we won't know for sure it's going to happen. Because saying she's not that regarded. Well, I mean, I don't hold her in that high regard. I think the defense will call Proctor. Yeah, I could see it. One way or another, but I think Hank is kind of waffling on it. I think Hank is trying to use Buchanan, and we'll see how the redirect goes. But I think he wants to avoid it, and if he can use Buchanan to fill in the holes, he will, but Buchanan didn't fill in all the holes he needed. So he may be forced to use Proctor. Does a Proctor get added to the Deadpool? Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. Definitely take the not happening bet on that. These guys aren't that sophisticated. This is a conspiracy to retards. They aren't able to kill people intentionally. That is the problem with these guys. They're just, it's a circus it's a circus full of clowns. And they're all clowns and they don't realize that they're clowns. And that's the biggest problem, I would say. They called that other officer with the other shoe to abrogate Proctor. Yeah. Well, here's the Birchmore thing, but there was, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, though. Has the Commonwealth not called the ME yet? Nope. The medical examiner has not been called, although from what we understand, they're not going to call the same one, Dr. Scordy Bello. They're going to call someone else from the ME's office to evaluate things. So we'll see what happens. Garrett says he's on the defense list. That doesn't mean he was subpoenaed. That just means a list of potential witnesses. That doesn't mean he was subpoenaed. So, yeah, I still think it was an accident in the house. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, think of the other people these scumbags have interfered with. I think I skipped past the Bev apologizing part, so yeah. I do not have it. But no, the cross continues tomorrow, which is they are gonna just fucking eat him alive. Will the defense call Scordy Bello? Sure. I think Hank is hoping he can bluff his way through all of it. I don't think it's gonna work for him though. So yeah. I don't think it's gonna change. I don't think it's we're going to see how well the we're going to have to see how everything goes here. How think the trial's going before? Karen Reed's still behind. And these comments she keeps fucking making are making things worse. So like I said, still, less than 25% I mean, they're making progress, but they haven't really been able to move the needle, in my opinion. So they have an above average chance. So it's like, 15%, but then I'd argue they have a very real chance. So like 15, 20%. We'll see. We'll see. If you're asking, that's what I think. 20% right now at most. More like 15 to 10% likely. Kurt said he thinks Karen has a 2/3 chance of getting convicted. Oh, yeah, 100%. It's at least 50-50. So, yeah, I mean, that's not a surprise. Katie says 20% guilty. No, 20% acquittal. The smaller number for acquittal, bigger number for conviction. I think there's an 80% chance she gets convicted right now. They're just behind. But remember, they haven't done their case yet. Remember, you should, when the prosecutor is presenting his case, hold on, guys. When the prosecutor is presenting his case, you should be like, oh, they're fucking guilty. And then when the defense starts attacking, you should be like, oh, okay, look, the scale's changing now. And then when they're done, you're like, okay, let's weigh them properly. Whoop, whoop, whichever side gets it. So, yeah, you have to be able to play long game. When it's like when you're handling things in a trial, like, oh my God, the colors or this or that or the other. It's cowboy time. You got to be able to handle it. So we'll see. The defense has destroyed every state witness, not every single one of them. But I mean, you have to be careful because you don't want to sound like, it sounds clickbaity. So you just got to be careful. It's got to be careful. So. Vader saying it's always 50-50. Well, no, there's another 50-50. Like, it's really like a three-way thing. He could get, convicted. So, so it's 50-50. She's either acquitted, convicted, or another mistrial. Well, I think you can't just say 50 like that, but yeah. As of Sean being ranked in the top 10 of the penis game soon, yeah. Yes, you can't make the conspiracy look big. You have to keep it very tight. I agree. So, Kay says the penis game, yeah. Genital jousting. Somebody got that for me on Steam, and that's a game we're gonna have to download and set up. So, Brian Hurst says, thanks, great night podcast. Get some sleep. Your yawning was infectious. Well, it is. It's 12:34. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. And I think we're gonna wrap this up here, chat, because I am tired. I'm a tired boy. So, CG says, good news, fat man. My fingers got sewn back on and they worked. I know you said they got sewn back on, but hell yeah, they're working. That's good news. 15 stitches on 3 fingers. Jesus Christ, man. Stay away from power tools for now. And then KRM says, a user on X is tracking live views of this trial. approximately 650,000 live views today. I did see that post. They were putting it together. And then somebody down there is like, oh, include Sean. And I'm like, yeah, we'll include 450 to like that count of like 250,000 watching on Long Crime. Like, there are millions of people watching this thing right now. It's impressive. A little impressive. So, Alisi dismantled her lawyers to layman. I never want Alessi to cross again. I get that. But he did a good job. I'm just remember, guys, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like Trump, like politician, congressman smashes witness or blast them. It's like they really didn't do any of that. Did they beat these people up and score a lot of points? Yes, but Hank scored a lot of points too. And with that said, Corey Boatwright for 50 subs. Let's do this. Wow, Corey, thank you. You the man, Corey. Coming in off the top rope like that. Just finding the grays and just taking care of it. Corey, thank you for the support and your generosity tonight. Thank you. All right, chat. And in the meantime, as I can't show it in a way that'll work here. And then Brewberries, you're saying, what is this? Look for this around the you're telling me to look at the 5-hour mark? 5 minutes, 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 25 seconds. What is this we're looking at? 5 hours. Hold on here, chat. Somebody sent me something. We're going to have to switch over to this. There's something here, apparently. So we'll take a look at this. 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 25 seconds. Okay, here we go. What are we looking for?
You are unmuted.
All right, jurors, as you know, I think I told you in the beginning, one of my functions is to make sure.
What were we looking at? I don't even know what I was looking at there. That was actually tells Alessi it's the last sidebar. He's getting on the issue. Oh, okay. So let's see here. Let's see what she says.
Sure that a case is tried fairly and efficiently, and not to waste anybody's time. So if I get frustrated at lawyers about something, I try not to, and I don't think I am, but if I seem to cut somebody short, the lawyers are just doing their job. When they request sidebar conferences, they're just doing their job. I am going to try and keep all sidebar conferences to a minimum, but the lawyers are just doing their job. Okay. All right,
Oh,
go ahead,
yeah,
Mr.
that's
Olson.
important.
Witness.
That's good. She kind of clarified. I may seem like a big bitch. And she's like, you're right. But I'm being a bitch to the attorneys, not you. Although she's trying to say I'm not doing any of that. But it's like you are being a bitch to everybody, Bev. You're being awful. You're cutting off the state all the fucking time. So. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh. So let's see here. So thank you for bringing that up, Brewberries. I appreciate it. Yes, let's get some sobs. Yes, you get a membership, you get a membership, you get a membership. So guys, what's going to happen, especially with Karen Reed, because of the Wednesdays getting eaten up, we're going to switch to doing members only on Sunday for now. So we're going to hang out on Sundays and kind of do stuff there. So, yes, every time I yawn, you can animate a GIF of me. Yes. Yes. Oh, did you guys not? You guys didn't see that? Oh, all right. God damn it. All right, hold on. We'll rewind it real quick. Okay. Here.
the beginning, one of my functions is to make sure that a case is tried fairly and efficiently, and not to waste anybody's time. So if I get frustrated at lawyers about something, I try not to, and I don't think I am, but if I seem to cut somebody short, the lawyers are just doing their job. When they request sidebar conferences, they're just doing their job. I am going to try and keep all.
I think that's glad they brought that up. You're fucking us over. So there we go. There you go. Suffa chat. Suffa. Can you hit some AI Bev? I don't do that gay. We don't do that gay shit. We don't do that gay shit here. We just do our thing. So you guys don't need to see your dumb face. Yes. Rob Ford. 7. I feel like a number station. 7. For 20 subs. Let's go, chat. Let's do this. Wow, guys, thank you for your support and your generosity here. Ooh, buddy. WMMAC now. It's good to see you, man. It's been a little while. Hope you're doing well. Says, if it moves, it's VC. If it stands still, it's well-disciplined VC. Yes. To quote the great door gunner in Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. Rob Ford hitting that crack pipe of Grays. Yep. That crack pipe harder than that raccoon. Oh, shit. Corey Boatwright again for 50 subs. Just running wild through the streets, chat. Running wild through the streets with his hair on fire. Just making it happen there, chat. Making it happen with them subs. Just making sure it's clear. Making sure it's known that you're not welcome here.
See this? That means not welcome.
That's right, chat. That means not welcome. Thank you, Corey. That is some pretty epic shit there. Dodged again. Wow. It's impressive. Yes, Rob Ford, the crack smoking mayor of Toronto. Yes. I think he's dead now, but yes, at one point, the crack smoking mayor of Toronto, Ontario. And let's see here. Where is... let's see here. What was I looking for? I thought I saw somebody say something. Dodge again. Just letting you know, gifted memberships could go to subscribers who aren't even watching. Yes, that's very true. That's very true. Meevy says, good Lord. Yes, thank you. Cacophony says, grave forever. Oh, Rob Ford coming in. Rob Ford, 7777. 7. For 50 more subs, chat. Woo! We're doing this tonight, huh? We are doing this tonight, really. Here we go. Ignatius of Antioch says rip. Yes. Woo! Maybe he says, I just found you guys from Turtle Point. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. If you didn't, like I said, if you weren't sure, I'm an attorney in Cleveland, Ohio. Been covering Karen Reed for a while now, since back at the first trial. Yes. Can we hit the goal, chat? I guess we're hitting the goal. I'm gonna have to go get that raccoon, and I'm gonna have to smoke crack on stream with a raccoon. I don't know how well that's gonna go, but I'll try it, I guess. And like, how's the raccoon gonna hold the chore boy and everything? Oh. So, thank you, Rob, for your support and your generosity. Woo! You've hit fucking goals. Yes. Some pretty nice goals. Damn, you guys are crazy. I mean that in a good, respectable way. Oh. So, Turtle Boy shout out Sean. I don't know if he did. If he did, awesome. Mineral says, I have oppositional defiant disorder. I'm mean gray out of spite. Sean, don't you worry. It'll happen anyway. You can't fight it. Oh. Bella says, you didn't mention taking the racket's turn. How did I take the Nick turn? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, smoke and crack the raccoon. Oh, yeah. We'll just watch. We'll see Sean on Live Leaks really soon, smoking with an animal. Oh my God, that's not happening. That is not happening. Oh, that's not happening here. And I wish I could show the picture of Clyde doing the woo, but it won't play the video. The video will not play sound on StreamYard. That's going to be the problem here. Save Sunny, save Chewy. We want more future Mrs. Martin 2.0. Well, she's getting ready to go to bed, so I think she's already in bed. She's laid down. She might have the phone running. She might have me running. I don't know if she does. Let me see if I can hear her. Yep, she got me on delay. Yep, I hear her. So, oh, hold on one second, chat. What? Tupido's like, wait, what are you guys doing? Look, no, we're not. Amnesia says Nick snorted coke with the raccoon. He didn't smoke crack with one. That's totally different. Oh God, yes. Cyanide says, I think I flipped channels on accident like 8-9 years ago. Yes. Rob Ford 777777777 for $10. Thank you, Rob, is saying smoke crack, y'all. Smoke rock, smoke that rock. Like Rob Ford and Rakeda would. I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me if that's happening at some point. So, yes, Rob Ford, hashtag disposable income. Although when you're a drug addict, everything's disposable. So, oh, wow. So, oh. Can you teach a raccoon to do lines of coke? I don't know. I think it'd be trying to lick it up. Although it tastes so bad. So I don't think you let a raccoon teach, like, come up with it in a way that makes sense. I think it, like, just, yeah, I don't think naturally it would. I could use some whippets so your SO doesn't catch you. Well, if they catch him messing around with that and find things of it everywhere, they can make a motion to amend his probation and say, look, these weren't banned. You need to ban them now. So like I said, we're going to have to see where this goes at some point. Rob Ford, 77777 is a new member. Rob, thank you for your support, man, and your generosity. Bella is saying, don't worry about members only for a while, Sean. You can make it up. You can make it up. You're going to get sick of you 24/7. I know, that's something I've been thinking about. And that's something like just running everything in real life is just like, I'm like, right now, I'm just like, I want to, like, bed sounds great, but I'm like, you guys are out here and fired up. So I'm like, I can't leave you guys. But Bella, thank you for the comments. I appreciate that. That is something to remember, to take the time when you have the time. So this trial is over a month. I know. It was brutal the last time, but my streaming endurance has gotten better and better. Oh. 24-hour stream win. Never. So I can just tell you, never. Bella says go to sleep. I think I'm going to. Chat. I mean, it's 1:00. I got to get ready for them tomorrow. Thankfully, nothing first thing in the morning. A 24-hour stream when I hit 100K. Fine, there. That's what we'll do. 24-hour stream. we hit 100K. So get to starting, chat. Get to starting. Let's see here. Oh. I do some reaction vids. Have been up for over 20 hours now for Kanye. Yeah. I like Sean when he wears the slave shirts. It makes me feel at home. Oh, but yeah, someone clip it. That's right. 100K subs, 24 hours. You got me. You got me. So, yeah, Kurt did really well tonight, it looks like. But yeah, I'm happy to see Kurt kicking ass. Kurt's a good guy. He's a good guy. Stop yawning. You're making me do it. Can't stop. I can't stop. I'm done. So, Pat Hacker says you got a ways to go. Yes. But I think we're going to leave that here, chat. We are going to leave that here. And I really want to say to Corey Boatwright and Rob Ford, thank you both, you guys. Holy shit. Coming out of nowhere, and I appreciate that. Like that. That's super cool. So thank you again for all these memberships. This is I appreciate it. And Corey did say he's been a member 10 months. It's been great trial coverage. Keep it up. Well, there's going to be a lot more where that came from. Hopefully it's stuff that's in positive in Karen's favor and not us just sitting here lamenting and bitching because, well, you can have fun doing that as an attorney. You know, if there's somebody there who could just get zapped out, it almost makes you feel better. Like that's an option. But thank you for being here for 10 months. I appreciate the support, man. I appreciate it a lot. So, tomorrow should be fun. Rob says, love you, Sean. Thanks for all you do. Well, I do appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. And yeah, with that chat on that bombshell tonight, we are gonna wrap it up and we'll get day 13 going on the screen here. It should be a lot of fun. So So let's see here. Just see what you guys wrote down. Also, we won't be able to do the YSL trial redo with him. Yes. So, all right, chat. So, guys, yeah, Kurt got 5.2 views. Wow. Good job, Kurt. Fucking epic shit. You peed in Russell Greer's water fountain. You son of a bitch. So, all right, chat. So, yeah, we're going to wrap this up here. Thank you again to Rob and Corey. You guys are the man. Good fucking shit, chat. Let's end this week on an awesome note. Let's crush it. Let's crush it. So, good night, chat. Take care, and I will see you later. And you know, chat, what I will say is, you know, just because Karen Reed may have done it, does not mean she's guilty. She's not guilty. She is not guilty. And I can't wait for that level of investigation to follow up how the other items were, you know, and that whole thing. Like, that's going to be interesting. So, but yeah, guys, tomorrow it's going to get even worse for Bukkake. You know, they're going to limber it and put some, you know, it's going to get intense. It's going to get intense. So Jeff might not be here, but Jeff probably did ask John O'Keefe, like, what the fuck, man? So, oh, yeah. So, you guys all take care in the meantime, and I will see you tomorrow. Chat, you guys know what to do. And then good night, everybody.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy that Kate yelled?